Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing today? Welcome to Zizix IT Training and Software Limited. It's been a while. It's been a while. Some of the students have really requested this course on the full stack web development with Django, right? So welcome. It's finally here. Hooray. All right. So my name is Uwem Akpabut, and I am delivering this course for Zizix IT Training and Software Limited. So welcome to this course. So a quick one is that Django is very easy to set up. It's very easy to use, okay? So what is Django? Django is Python's framework, popular framework. There are other frameworks like Flask, Tornado, Fast API, Bottle, but Django remains the most popular, right? So we are going to see how to build a full stack monolithic web application using Django with a database, okay? We'll do it first of all with an SQLite database, then we move to MySQL database, okay? So it's very easy, and with Zizix, everything is easy and clear, okay? So you learn it in easy and clear steps, right? So notice that Python, Django is from Python, okay? Just like Spring Boot is from Java and Laravel is from PHP, right? So let's see how to get started. But just before that, I want to pinpoint that we have two ways of doing this. So either you use the monolithic approach where everything is full stack within Django, no separations, front end and back end is within Django, or you you go ahead and use the other one where we call microservices, APIs, REST APIs, where we have separation of concerns. That's we have separate front end using maybe React JS or Vue.js or Angular JS, and then we have a back end with Python, that's Django. Okay, so the separation of concerns is also quite good, also especially for where you have mobile applications that are also fetching from the same data source. Okay, so but for this course, we'll focus on the monolithic app full stack, okay, with Django. Okay, we'll have separate courses where I discuss the REST API as well with React. Okay, thank you very much for joining. I'm so happy to have you guys still on this channel, and do well to subscribe to our channel as well, Zizix IT Training on YouTube. Thank you very much. God bless you. So let's get ready to dive in immediately. All right. So the first thing we'll do is to create a folder on our desktop. I want to use desktop. You can create it anywhere you want. All right. So we want to create this folder project because we want to build a simple project. So we want to name it project. All right. So right click on the project and click on open with code. Code, that's Visual Studio Code, is Visual Studio Code is Microsoft's popular IDE, okay, integrated development environment. That's code editor. So used for writing and editing code so that they'll be browsable and used, okay? So you can create console applications, web applications, mobile applications using this tool as well. All right, so welcome here. So the first thing we'll do is to use a set of commands to create our project. So Django offers different sets of commands to do that, different things, okay? For creating a project, you will use what we call Django admin start project. Notice that there is no space between, all right? Start project is one word, and the name of the project, we want to call it project. I like to make it the same name as the project folder. So this is the folder I created, project, and then Django project will also have the same name, project. After that, don't hit enter. So you add a space and a dot because we want to pour it within this project folder. If you don't add that dot, it's still okay, but it will create a project for you in an external to this folder we already created. So to keep things simple, we always want to put it within this project, right? So space and dot, hit enter. So it will create a Django. Yeah, it has. So it creates a Django project for us, a folder and a manage.py. Okay, we don't need to, this is how it looks like. So it contains some configuration from Django. We don't need to edit this file at all. So the files we have here within this project, we have settings file, we have URLs. We have the right to edit these two files, okay? So settings is used for major or minor configurations you want to do to Django. So we may want to add something like localhost. Say we are trying to host it, and maybe to our website. Maybe we might want to add maybe c6.com with HTTPS and everything, right? So if you are trying to host, but we don't need this for now. This is localhost, right? So you can do well to check our websites as well, c6.com, right? And browse our varieties of courses. All right, so installed apps. We have installed app sessions where when you create an app, you add it here among this list. We also have a database section where you register your database credentials here. We have other languages and then static media files. All right, so that's just a brief. And for the URLs, I can remove this long comment. All right, so URLs is used for routing, so to route different pages and ensure navigation between different pages, right? So that's basically the explanation you need here. So the next step will be to create an app. So we want to create an app for front end so that we'll have our view for front end views, right? All right, so let's go ahead. So we want to create an app called front end. To do that in Django, we use py manage.py start app and the name of the app. So we want to call it front end, no dot at the end, okay, no space and also just go ahead and do that. So we hit enter and there you go. So the difference is that it doesn't have a settings file. The apps you create don't have settings.py and they don't have URLs. We will need to create those two differently. But another difference is that they have models, okay, which will connect to databases, and they have views, whereas these didn't have the views. So you can see the differences. All right. So over here, the URLs now, first of all, we need to register that app. So to register the app we just created is to come to installed apps and in your settings file and just register the name app. Okay, front end, sorry. So the name is called front end. So we just register that front end. All right. So over here, we have, we don't want to work with URLs first. So I can close this and I want to come up here and the first place we would like to work with would be our views. But before we work on our views, I want us to work on templates. Okay, so we want to create a template file here. All right, so the first step would be to create a template folder here. You can either right click and create new folder, or the easy way, click on here and click the second folder, that's the second plus there, and call it templates with S, right? Spell it exactly that way and create another folder under templates, call it front end to make it simple, the same name as this, right? So front end templates, front end, right? So that's the structure. So under this sub front end, what you need to do is you create a file this time, this first one, and you call it base.html. All right, so in this file, I'll explain why we need this file. We need this file. Say you are creating a website now, you have header, you have menu. I don't want to accept that. I don't want to accept that. It still came up. So we have menu. I don't want to accept this. It still came up. So we have body text, and then we have footer, for instance. So, all right. So, but notice that across all the pages, you have header and menu repeated, but you have footer repeated as well, header, menu, and footer repeated across all the pages. But for each of the pages, you have body differently. So we have body to be different for each of the pages. So when you get to about page, you'll see about us, we have blah blah blah. When you get to home page, welcome to home page. Okay, that is different. But for the menu, for instance, home, about, contact is intact. It's the same for all. The reason we have this is, for example, in the future, if you want to change some content under footer or maybe the background of footer, you will now have to do it on each of the pages. Say you had over 1,000 pages, that will be really tedious to work on. So the advantage is that you reuse each of these on all the pages, such that if you want to make changes in the future, you only make changes at once and they appear to all the pages, right? Both in color and in content, right? So that's why we need our base. So the base will contain header, menu, and footer without the body. So each specific page will have only the body. Say we have front end and we want to have index page, which is our home page, index.html. So you will now see only body without the other one. So it will call the header, menu, and footer and wrap itself. Okay, that's how we want to do it. So let's create these three now. So we have HTML, okay. We have head, yeah, inside head, we have title, all right. Then we have basic website, okay. All right, so that's our title. We have body, all right, under the body. So here we go. Let's have menu. Let's just have a nav. Okay, nav. Okay, and we have a UL, right? Something like this. I'm not trying to make this complicated in any way. I'm just trying to show what I was talking about. So we have that, and just three you do, about and contact. Okay. All right. So that's our DA menu, and they will be repeated across. Okay, so let's just have a small footer, and we can have a div called footer, and footer. Let's just call our footer. Okay, or maybe let me just put copyright here. Copy 2025 footer, right? So yeah, our website. All right, so let's just leave that. So this is very basic and this should be repeated. Now, this is the portion we would want to have our content for the index page, all right? So we have to expose this content. The way we do that is to use this curly braces and this, and then we have block, then the name of the block. So you can name it anything. I decide to name it content, and after your block, you should close it. So we close the block, giving allowance for every other thing on every other page to be inserted within this. Okay, so you remove this content while closing the block and just have end block, right? That is perfect. This is perfect. All right. So sometimes you want to use static files also. So let's just have a static here. So we have load static. We will talk about that later, just to make sure we are safe. So we have load static to be able to load static files like CSS, JavaScript, but we'll not complicate things further. Okay, so let me make sure I expand this for you to see very well. All right, I think it's clearer here now. Okay, so the next step will be to work on our index file. So the first thing will be that our index should call that base in order to wrap itself, okay? To call that base to wrap itself, you use that same uh, engine. So we have here extends, okay? So we have extends front end, all right, base.html. Okay, so that's the way you extend it. So you extend front and base, so it will extend all the attributes from the other one, and we have it here. Okay, so the next step will be to create our inner block like this content. So we just copy it instead of typing it again. So we have our inner block here. So our block content, you don't need to change anything. All you need to say is maybe anything that will show that this is a welcome page. Welcome to our website. So this is our home page. Okay, so let me just write maybe so it will be easier. Our home page. Home page. Okay, all right. All right, so that's clear enough. So for different pages we create, all we need to do is to extend and then we have a block and change the content of that block in here, right? All right. So that's that. So we have created our view, sorry, our HTML under our templates, but we need a way to present this. Okay. So to present this, we have to go to view and do it here. So to present this, what we'll do will be to create a simple function that will present that page. So the way we create that function is just by using Django function def. Remember, it's not function. So you say def, and we call it index, and we call it request. All right. So we pass in request as a parameter. So over here, we return render, this render on top. So we return render, you've selected it, render. So we pass in that request, and we have comma render request, and so we have where do you want to present this? So we want to present this page front end. That is, we are talking about front end and index, not base. Front end and index. All right. So yeah, so front end and then index.html. Okay, so I think that's just what we need to do. Two-liner. All right, so we don't need to import anything. Just this is quite fine. Okay, so for every other page, we will keep adding this function, right? So let's proceed. So the next thing we'll do is to now route this page so that it should be visible. It should be visible. So the way we do it is to create a URLs file. Okay, so first of all, let's go to the mother URLs, this one, and we need to create something for it. So we go to the mother URL first, and we remove this admin, and we want to leave it empty because we want it to be accessed on the home page. So we have include. Okay, we will need to import that. So include, so we have front end. Okay, we need that within a quote. So we have front end, that is this one. Okay, this one actually. So the front end app, that's what we are talking about. So we have front end dot URLs. Front end. So in front end, look for urls.py. We don't have it, we will create it right now. Okay, so but we are just pointing to it from the mother project file, right? From the mother URLs. Okay, so remember to import your include. We remove the admin, we don't need it for this class, so there's no point. So this is clean, and this is all we need here, right? So this frontend.urls does not exist, and soon we will run into errors, so we don't want to run into errors. Okay, so we don't want to run into errors. So to avoid that error, all we need to do is we create it right away. So click on front end and create a file called urls. Remember s.py. Okay, so on this urls py, I can just copy this, okay, and put it here, but we'll make some changes. We don't need include anymore. We don't need the include anymore. Okay, we don't need the include anymore. Okay. So over here we have so let me just remove this. So we don't need that anymore. So over here we have views. We are going to create this, otherwise it will give us an error. So we have views dot, yeah. So we have views dot index. Talking about these views dot index. That's view file dot this index function. That's what I'm referring to. So dot index. Okay, so once you do that, that's a function name. You don't need to do this. Some errors, people like to do that, so you don't need to add brackets there. So you just have a name. It's not necessary, but I always like to do that, and I call it index. Okay, So views or index is giving us an error because we've not imported. So the way we import view is from dot views, from dots, that's from all from this directory, search all in this directory, from this very directory that you are in, import views. So we are okay now. So from this directory, import views. So I think everything looks good. And is that easy? How many minutes did we use? So we need to now run our server and see what happens. Py-manage.py run server and see what happens. Okay, so we go to localhost 8000, and here we go. We see our header. We see our header from the base. We see our menu also from the base, and then we see our footer from the base. Then we see our content, that's the inner page, the inner body page from our index. So you wouldn't know that some are coming from the base and some are coming from the index page. So it just integrates everything together and makes it seamless for us. Okay, so this works nicely. This is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. So here we go, and everything is properly set up. So this is all there is for setting up, routing, configuring Django templates, configuring app, and making it work, okay, without the database. All right, so now we will be able to move. So this works very well. Let me show you how to add the two other pages and navigate through them quickly. So to add a page, now the first thing you do will be to create the page. Okay, so we have front end, and we are basically creating a page. So front end, we create a page called about.html, and we create another page on front end, create a page called contact.html, right? So we will go and do copy work. So where is our index? You don't need to go to base again. So all you need to do, go to index and copy everything you have, right? You can close that. And here we go up. So we now go to about, and here we go. We paste that here. So I can just put here about, and we are serious people. Okay, so contact, we paste again, and I can just call this contact, and we are online. Okay, so that looks good now. All right, so that's everything you need to do for creating two new pages, as simple and as seamless as it can be. So the next thing you need to do, avoid the URLs first. So let me close this. You don't need this again because you've already sent it to front end. So front end implementations will be within this one, right? So for each app, you place them here. But then for the individual apps, you can create the different routes within them. Okay, so we close this other one. So we have this. So the next thing we'll do, we will not touch these URLs first, so that we avoid error. So the next thing we'll do will be to go to our views, and let me push this one down here. So we don't need to register anything again. We already registered front end. So the next thing we'll do is to go here after creating the files. So the next thing, go here, copy this and paste, copy and paste, as easy as that. Change this to about, change this to contact, and there we go. So we can simply do this, about and contact. You've seen how easy it is. So we've created 3 different pages in a second. All right, so now that you've done this, that's the second step. So the first step was create the files under templates. The second step, create the functions. The third step is create the URLs. If you follow this way, it will be easier and you will not have errors. Okay, so all right, so the next one will be you change this to about, and of course about, and we change this to contact and contact. All right, so that's not all. Remember to come to the path, and for this contact, you have a URL to access it. So you, for this about, you call it about before slash. Don't put slash here. It won't work for Django, right? So you put slash after that about. Okay, so we have contact as well and a slash. Okay, so this looks good. This is good. This is perfect now. So if we go back here, we refresh our page, we have those 3 pages working, but we are not able to click these links. So let me show you how to work with it without the links first. So all you need to do is to go to about without the HTML, and it takes you to about page with this as the specific content, whereas these are the repeated content from base. You understand how it works now? So I don't need to kill myself. All right, so if you go to contact, the same thing. So contact specific content and then this reusable content from base. And that makes a lot of sense, okay? Such that what I was explaining before, even if we go to base now and decide to say uh, C6 on top, and maybe make it H, make it, yeah, let me just make it H3 and call it C6 on top. And come over here and say C6 website. So it makes sense because if you refresh here, you see that it changes to Z6 website here, changes to Z6 website, Z6 here, and then it appears on all the pages, whereas I created it just once. So it makes sense, too much sense. All right. So this is beautiful. This is really beautiful. So that's how you should set up things. So one last thing we might just need to do before we move on, we need a way of adding a href here so that we navigate through the URLs automatically, not having to do it manually. So this is copying from this name that we used here, okay, and without the HTML, right? So note that the name you use here is the name you will use here. Where are we? Right. So we have this, and let me just, we have that, we have that. We change this to about again, and then we change this to about. Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? No, that's not what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so we will use this URL. Okay, um, okay, and that should work well now. Okay, so we change this to contact. Oh, for the first time I can spell contact. Alas. All right. So we have about and contact. All right. So let's see how that works. And we've only changed it on base. Notice that the other pages don't have it. Okay. So it's simple and it's easy to use. All right. So let's see how this works. Or home. Okay. Sorry, I made a mistake with that. So this is index, not home. Thank God. We have a new, all right, so we have contact goes to contact about home, contact about, so we can navigate through our pages rightly. So this looks very good, right? So let's set up our database and see how to push things. We're going to go to the next step now with models, okay? So we want to utilize this model. Oh, there's no model on front end. We want to create another app and create a model, right? We want to create another app and create a model within it. So we have another app. So to do that, remember how to do that. So I want to open another tab here so that we still have our server running, right? So let's open this one. And we want to say py manage.py start app. And we want to call this record. Record. Yep. So, yep. Can we call this records? Okay, so that looks good. A record. Okay, front end was singular, so we can just say start app record. All right, so we have our app record here, and the first thing to do, remember, can you guys to go to settings and add it here? settings record. Okay, singular. All right. So it's added. So no more issues with settings file. So the next thing we will not should we create, no, you'll not have to do that now. The next thing will be to create templates for it the way we went with this one. So we go to front end, we go to templates. So under templates, we have another folder called record. All right. So we have another folder called record. So that is it. So the next thing we'll do is just to create view record here. Okay, so we have a file called view record, view record.html. Okay, so let's just keep it that simple. View record.html. Okay, so the same way we copied that time, there's something we copied. The same way we copied that. Okay, so there's something. So how do I view things I copied formerly? So you use Windows V instead of Control V. Okay, so Control V is paste, but Windows V will show your clipboard and you're able to select what you want to paste. So we still have this, and this doesn't change even when the directory has changed. So this page will now be view records. View records. Okay, so I can remove this for a while. Okay, so this will be our page, view record page. We'll access it shortly. So the next thing we will do will be to set it up, the views, go to views again, and we'll add, I don't want to do it here. So we're not doing it here. So we'll go here and we have a views here. So let me just copy this and implement it here. So views on the record, right? So the views on the record now. So we will change this to view record. Okay. And yeah. So so we change this to view record, and this will present which file, not front end now. So it will present this file record here, this one, template record view record. View record. So be careful how you do this so you don't run into errors. Okay. So yeah, so this is it. So this presents this page. So let's just check out that page right now. So the last thing we need to do before we check it out is to create URLs for here. Okay. So the same way we created this URL for front end, we want to copy and create it here. So we want to copy that URLs and create URLs for our record. Notice that we've not yet linked it from the main URL. We'll do that right away. So URLs are by, and we paste this. For this one, yeah, everything looks good, but we just need here, everything looks good, but we just need to remove this, and we have views dot what, view record. So views dot view record, and name is view record, right? And yeah, so we can leave this because it will be the route inside of the record route. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. So on your main project URLs, so you come over here, and the same way we have front end, you can copy and paste and change this to a record. Okay, you get the vibe. So it's nice, right? So remember, you have this, and we can have record. So so to point to record URLs, then we have that in our URLs before we have it empty view records. For other things, you will add records. Okay, so this is how we will access it too. This looks good. That looks good. And so let's see that how it goes first. Um, so about, so we add, if we go to home now, and then we have record here. So it takes us to the same place with the same header and footer, the same reusable things from base. Okay, so view records, right? So we are on the right track, right? So the next thing will be to bring in our database, work with models. We'll first work with the default SQLite database to make things easy. Then we'll navigate to use PHP my admin MySQL database, right? So let's see how to do that. So view records. So we go to view records. So the first thing will be to create our models. So we already have models. Remember, we will not make use of models in front end. There's no point. So we already have models here. So all we need to do now is to create a class for our models, and we can just call it record class, and we call it models dot model. Okay, that's how Django wants it. And then we can have name is assigned the value of models dot char field. That's a character field, as in text. Okay, so we have max length, and can we just give it up to 30? Yeah. Okay, so we have another one, maybe detail is assigned the value of models dot, this time text field, because we don't need a text box again. We need a, how do you call this, text area. Yeah, we need an input text area, right? So we have blank is equal to true because we don't want to make it compulsory, and null is equal to true. So even if you don't type anything, that should work. All right, so we have a basic, so it can have so many columns. These are columns, so we'll have 2 columns. You can have as many columns as you want with different inputs and things, but we just want to test run with these 2 columns, right? So this is perfect for our models, right? So the next thing will be to call it here. Why is it showing? So the next thing would be to come back to our views and be able to call our models. But before we do that, you want to run migration so that our models will be registered in our database. Okay, so let's just check that out. So we have a database here by default. Once you create an app, once you create the project, it will give you default SQLite 3 backend database. Okay, so we'll make use of that first, and let me just show you how things work. And py manage.py migrate. So we want to migrate to that. So our migrations have been applied, right? So we can go ahead and create and view our data, our records, okay, here. But since we don't have a way of viewing it, let me just go straight to using my SQL. Okay, so let me just use my SQL database. The first thing you do is to click install my SQL by installing PHP my admin. That's, you install XAMPP control panel, you install XAMPP. So the way you do that is to go online and go to Apache Friends. Yeah, I can't spell friends. So click here and download and install. Okay, so once you install it, you have PHP MyAdmin with MySQL and other things for you on your local host. All right, so the next thing you do is to make sure you start it anytime you need database. Okay, so you start, it will normally be start. So you make sure you start this to show green. You start the 2 of them. You start the Apache server and the MySQL database for it to function well. Okay, so the next thing, you come to your settings and change this to MySQL. All right, So once you change that to MySQL, we want to change this name. This name will be the name of our database. So the way I like to do it, I might just call it, do I have a project before? Tutorial project. Okay, let me just call it that so we have tutorial project, and the next thing will be to have, so I'll copy that line, and that is the name of the database. So the next thing will be the username to log into the database. So normally with MySQL, you have a default username, which is root, and I'm using it. So we also have a username. We also have password. So over here, you just type password. Okay, and the password is normally nothing, blank. Okay, so we have host. The next one will be host. Okay, so we can leave it at localhost. All right, so the next one will be what? Um, port, right? So port number is normally 3306. Yeah. So port 3306. All right, so that's that's all there is. So that's your MySQL setup. So if you have not installed my SQL client, you need to do that. So you need to do the pip install MySQL client to be able to start working with MySQL. I've already done that for my system, right? So that is it, pip install MySQL client. All right. So yeah, so it will install for you. So you're asking a question, what is PIP? So PIP stands for package installer for Python. Okay. So as the name implies, it just installed packages for Python. I remember one of those days when I was working in a company, our team members one of our team members got into a terrible issue with his code. He was having issues debugging here and there. So when he wanted to ask for help, he just said, "Can anybody tell me how to install pip? Maybe pip is the problem. How can we install pip?" So funny, really funny among us. I told him to install pip. You say pip install pip. Okay, so that was funny. That is not right. Okay, there is no how you install pip. Once you have Python on your system, Python comes with pip already. Okay, so you don't need to install pip. You have it already. So you only use pip to install the rest of the things that pip can install. You understand? All right. So if you want to read more about pip, you can do. And if you want to access some information about pip, you can also type pip itself, and you'll be able to get some of those commands and installation, like commands here, right? Install, freeze, and how to use them and that. Okay. But for the purpose of this class, for the scope of this course, we will not delve into that, but good that you know. All right, so let's dive straight into our database. So we'll go and create database and PHP my admin. All right, so you type PHP my admin. No, actually you type localhost without anything. Okay, just localhost, and it will take you to PHP my admin, and you click here. So welcome. You click there. It's coming up. I don't know why it should even be loading. This is localhost. All right, all right. So we're almost done. Just want to make sure I add the database so that everything looks fantastic. Why should this be delaying? Okay, all right. So we want to create a new database. So, this is the interface, creating my SQL databases with PHP, my admin. And it's a lot easier than writing SQL code. SQL stands for SQL stand for Structured Query Language. I almost forgot. All right, so we have a new database, and we want to call it. Oh, is that what I copied? I copied something some time ago. Yeah, tutorial project. So you just type it, tutorial project. I copied it from here. Let me show you. So it has to be the same name here, exact same name that you created here, right? So that's what I copied. And this is tutorial project. and we create it. So that's all there is. That's all you need to create. And if you check out, you see tutorial project here, right? So if you click on it, at the moment, there is no databases because we formally migrated our databases to run our migrations to MySQL database. Sorry, to what's that? SQLite database before we just change it. So we have to run migrations again. Okay, to do that, migration. So we want to make migrations and migrate, right? Make migrations. Nothing. Okay, so we've created record, yeah, and then migrate. Okay, migrate. Everything looks good and everything will be migrated here. If we refresh this, you see that our databases are being prepared. Our tables are coming in, not all. It's still coming in, it's still coming in. So about several tables will be here, including our record table. So once we have that, we are good to go. So let me see, are we done? Are we done? I hope you are really enjoying this class, and the beauty is that I enjoy teaching too. I'm a gifted teacher, and instructors at Z6 IT Training and Software Limited are gifted instructors as well. So we make sure that we employ the best brains, people that really know this to the in total, people that know what they know, programming, IT courses, different networking, databases, and different IT subjects. People that really know it's not textbook knowing, not AI knowing. You don't know by copying from ChatGPT like you've seen the way I've delivered the lecture. Friendly, jokes inside, illustrative, making mistakes, solving out with you, asking questions, playing about with it. That's how we teach, okay? So I would recommend you check out our courses, enroll in our courses. You really learn a lot, and it will be in your bloodstream. I mean, if I get to the hospital to run a test now, probably the doctor will test me and see will tell me you have programming. You know, you have programming in your blood, in your DNA. So I expect that because it's something I can teach with my eyes closed. Okay, so check out our courses, check out our website, subscribe to our channel, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and the rest of the places, and you'd be glad you did. Okay, join us in our physical classes. We have classes in Akwa Ibom. We have the physical office in Akwa Ibom. We have physical office in Cross River State. We have physical office in uh, Abuja. Okay, Jabi, Abuja, by Airport Road, Abuja. Okay, so you feel free to join us. Okay, and enjoy our lessons. Okay, so that being said, we are here, and I think if we refresh this again, we'll have all the tables. Yeah, we have all the tables, including record. So all we need to do is just to add record. We want to add a test record. You see that name and detail that we had here. So that comes from models, name and detail, right? So that's it. And you see max length 30, blank, not true for this one. So if we check the structure also, you see that this is not null, whereas this is null, and this is max length 30 for VACA. Okay, so that's it. So let's browse. Nothing inside. We want to add at least 2 records, and I want to add 2 records, just maybe CCNA, Cisco certified networking association. Okay, so we have another record. I'm just adding this manually. So we have MCP, Microsoft Certified Professional. Okay, so we can add more and more, right? MCP and the rest of them. So you click on Go, right? You scroll down and you click on Go here. So it will create that for us. Okay, so it has created. If you browse, you see that we have these 2 records. So what essentially we want to do now is to fetch these records on our front end on this page. we want to view this record here on this page. So that's the next step we will take to view this record. Now, why are we having the error? Okay, we need to run our server again. I think it stopped. So let's run our server. Okay. Okay, so let's run it. I think it was checking when I didn't create the database already. So we've created the database. So let's run the server now. Everything looks good. That's all right. So here, so when you have issues, don't cry. Don't run to mama. Don't run to chat to AI. Don't run to Gemini. Don't run to chat GPT. Don't run to Copilot. When I studied software engineering at University of Greenwich, UK, there was no AI then. So you understand programming, you understand software engineering the way it is taught. You read books, you understand, you do a couple of research online, you know. I know there was Stack Overflow then, but at least it was a brain helping a brain, but with the artificial intelligence, it makes people to be slow in learning. It makes people to rely on it and forget how to really understand what they need to understand. But at physics, we teach you in such a way that even in your dreams, you can answer questions that come to you, right? Okay. So, yeah, sorry about all those adverts. It's when it's true, you have to say it over and over so that it will ring a bell. Don't forget, okay? We are different. All right. So here, um, we want to present that record over here. So the first thing we will do, we are done with models. We will not do anything with models again. So let's close where we are done with. So we are done with settings. So we close that. We are not done with this. We are done with this. Done with this. Um, view record. Yeah, I think we are done with this. So we'll only work on these two files. So the first thing we'll do will be to uh, send this. Okay, we start from the views. So we want to send this. We will send this record. I just closed something. Let the models be on. We want to send the information received from this record model down here to the views. Okay, so that's the first thing you do. You will not edit this file anymore, but you send the record, you iterate it and send it here, right? So how we do it is to create a simple variable, rec, for instance. So rec is equal to record. We want to import it first so that we don't have any errors. So from models from this directory, this dot means from this directory, models, import record. Okay, so import this record. This is what you're importing. Oh my god. So all right, all right, so from this, import this record. I was trying to copy something to paste something and I mistakenly clicked on that. So import this record, right? So that's the record you're importing. And the same record you're importing here is the one you are dropping here. Is the one you are dropping here, right? So the same record you are importing here is the one you are dropping here. So record dot objects dot all will populate, will fetch all the records. Okay, so you can just put that. So this, we have sent this to you've passed this to a variable rec, and over here you have comma, and you have your variable rec with quotes first, and after that quote you have a colon with rec without quotes. Okay, so what you've done is this rec, that is the variable, is this one that you have called without the quotes. Now this one that you have safely passed between these quotes is the one you want to use. Okay, so you want to use it, yeah, you want to use it here. All right, so I don't know why this Zoom stuff is not going out. Okay, so okay, so you want to, these are models, and then you want to use it here, right? So All right, so we are ready to fetch the record. So this is okay for the models, and this is okay for the view record. We've populated this, we've fetched the records, and we've passed it here, okay? And that's so easy to do. And lastly, we are going over here and we want to present the records now. All right, to do that, you use a for loop. We discussed for loop in our Python programming course. Make sure you check that out for free on YouTube, or you attend one of our courses, okay? So to do that, we have yet our block again, and we have a for loop, okay? So we have a for loop for, we want to call it R for rake. How did we send it? Let me see how we sent it. So you have to know the name. You sent it as rake, right? This one. So you now make this name shorter. Okay, so I'll now make it shorter, R, for R in reg, right? For R in reg, and you close it so that you will not forget. So it will iterate through that. Okay, so end for, that's how to end a for loop. All right, so for R in reg, what do you do? So all you need to do is you have double this, and you call the R that you just created as a variable R dot what? So what did we have here? Name. We had here name and detail, right? So we go back here. So we have dot name, and we can even bring out dot detail. Okay, so let's see dot name first, that it brings it out. So we have CCNA MCP, right? So nicely done. So let's make it come out well. Maybe you can have H3 here. So, and H3, then we have P detail. So we have this. Remember, this is double curly braces, so that you don't make a mistake by making single detail. So it will fetch the two for us. So you have CCNS, so blah 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 blah. You can arrange it the way you want, either in URL. Let me use either in I mean to say UL LI. Okay, and I can pick this out here and put it here, and pick this out here. We don't need that paragraph again, and put it here. Li, put it here. Is that what you want? Let me see how that will go. Put it here, so we can remove this UL and put it outside, so that I think this should be cleaner. Okay, so all right, I think this looks good. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, it is essentially. So this brings out what we need. So say we go and add uh, another record. So to insert record, come over here, and you have Prince2. So we call this is called projects in controlled environments. These are all very beautiful certifications, like PMP, right? You know, project management professional, yeah, PMP and the rest. So, but I would like to Azure, yeah, Azure, we can bring in Azure, okay, or AWS, very popular, and the rest of them, okay. So this is just for testing. CompTIA, CompTIA, okay, CompTIA A plus, okay, CompTIA technician, okay, technician. Okay, so we can add these two. You can add as many as you want. So if we browse our website again, you see that they are added very well. So we are able to fetch records from our database. Okay, thank you very much for your time and space, and for joining this course. I hope you really, really enjoyed it. And I hope I will see you again in our next courses. And I hope you pay a visit to our offices, one of our offices at Abuja, and different locations. We also offer online courses. I forgot to mention online courses. Do well to visit c6.com, the website c6.com. So I might just put that out here, c6.com. Still in the process. I'm still working on it. So do well to visit this website as well. uh, Check out your courses like this. Okay, so most of them are free. I'm still working on it, so I'll make it nice. So visit our centers. Call us. Okay, um call us, and WhatsApp us. Okay, so this is our mobile number, 210 Okay, so do well to call us. For those of us outside Nigeria, so you can call us 234. Okay, so this is neatly so. All right, and this is also our WhatsApp number. Z6 IT training. Z6 is spelled Z6. Okay, IT training, okay, and software. So we do two things. We offer IT training courses, and we also do software development for organizations and companies and individuals. Okay, so we also offer services like SEO for websites. We design websites, we build software, we develop software. We offer consulting services. We offer graphic design as well, and different things that to make your business to prosper, and yeah, and make IT solutions that to simplify everything for your business. Remember what we have on our website? I think I closed it. So the whole duty of Z6 is to you learn IT courses in easy and clear steps. Okay, and another thing is that you'll be able to, it's coming up, it will change on its own. So the main thing about this is that we simplify complex work processes. Okay, you get solutions that are easy to use, efficient, and perform flawlessly to improve your businesses. And we apply disciplined engineering, software engineering principles, architecture, and algorithms to develop successful software that will not fail eventually, software that will succeed in the long run. Okay, so remember it's c6.com. Okay, and our YouTube channel as well. So C6 IT training, and we'll be glad to speak with you. We'll be glad to offer solutions and to work with you. Thank you very much, and God richly bless you. Amen. Amen.